Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Allow me to begin this video by asking you guys this simple question. If you were to be given 2 minutes to advise Raila Odinga and you are presented with two choices, support William Ruto or support Fred Matiang'i for the presidency in 2027. As an advisor, who would you tell Raila Odinga to support in 2027? And why? Because Raila Odinga is currently in a very tight corner. After failing in his bid of becoming the chair of the African Union Commission, Raila Odinga embarked on a journey of consulting his supporters. But Raila Odinga is clearly on a mission. He has decided on what to do. But from what I can see and what I've gathered, in most of those meetings, Raila Odinga is being advised against joining William Samoei Arap Ruto. Today alone, Raila Odinga was in Kissy and Nyamira. And while in Nyamira, Raila Odinga was confronted with a question about Fred Matiang'i's presidential bid. And I want you guys to listen to Raila Odinga's response and tell me whether it is betrayal or whether it is a strategy. Because you all know that Raila Odinga is also a very shrewd politician. After the meeting in Kissy, Raila Odinga went to Narok, where he also met with the ODM leaders there. And from Narok, it was very clear that Raila Odinga is headed William Ruto's side.
And we have given Baba our blessings so that he can be able to proceed and do what he knows is the right thing. Sisi kama wafuasi wa Raila Odinga tunasimama kidete ili tuweze kumsaidia. And I just want to show you with a show of hands. Kama nyinyi wote mmekubaliana Baba endelee atuongoze. Baba endelee ama asiendelee? Baba afanye kazi na serikali ama asifanye? Haya basi, Baba, it's your time to speak to us. Asante.
Later, as we speak, I think Raila Odinga is still in Nairobi, meeting with ODM leaders from Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to Raila Odinga responding to the question of Fred Matiang'i.
Baba, perhaps, my name is Mr. Makati. The Kissy community is also producing a son for presidency. And some feel like they have supported your party for too long. Perhaps is your party going to reciprocate to Matiang'i running for presidency?
You see, there's nothing like a community producing a candidate. Somebody who is running for the presidency, running for the presidency of Kenya. You see, you cannot be elected president of Kenya on the basis of the Kissy votes, or the Luo votes, or Luhya votes for that matter, or even the Mount Kenya votes. If you want to be elected, you'll be elected by Kenya generally. So that is something that we will deal with when the actual time comes up. Mr. Matiang'i has not, as things stand, come up to speak, to declare that he wants to run for the presidency. So I don't know where you're getting that information.
That's Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga is right that Matiang'i has not declared his bid for the presidency. So far, in my own estimation, and I keep on saying this, there's a high chance that several other candidates are going to be sponsored to spoil the votes. In Kissy alone, Matiang'i is likely to be on the ballot. But another credible candidate, David Maraga, is also making some moves. And you can't convince me that the moves Maraga is making are not geared towards the presidency. On this platform, I've always told you that in the mountain, another candidate, a credible candidate, is also likely to be sponsored. And I want you to underline the word Ndindi Nyoro. But let us not get into that. Let us now focus on Fred Matiang'i and the statement by Raila Odinga, because I want to interpret it. Before I do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two. Click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in serving. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also do the same using the same numbers you are seeing on your screen. A cup of coffee goes for 200 shillings, but you can do more. Ladies and gentlemen, my first interpretation is that Fred Okengo Matiang'i must resign from wherever he is, then come back into the country and come back with a strategy, because time is not on his side. But my advice to Matiang'i would be, consider running on ODM ticket. So you must figure out, I'm coming back into the country. He has a party already, but that party has a governor and I think some 10 MCs from Nyamira County. That party does not have national outlook. There's a chance for Matiang'i in ODM party. In fact, the other day, I bumped onto the senator for Kissy and I challenged him why they can't convince Matiang'i to run on ODM ticket. Because if Matiang'i were to run on ODM ticket, there's a high chance he can inherit Raila Odinga support base. Because even if Raila Odinga were to cling onto ODM party, if he joined today, then the way I'm seeing things, another faction is likely to emerge in ODM party. Then he can go. All those who will be dissatisfied will say, Matiang'i tried coming, he was locked out, then they'll follow him. Because there is no way he can become the president with that party, with Jubilee party. He must have a bigger party. That's number one. My second interpretation is that Raila Odinga should also be willing to support Fred Okengo Matiang'i under ODM party. If Matiang'i has not reached out to him, he should do that. I was talking to someone and the person told me something. That me, I'm trying to understand Raila Odinga. And his game plan might be similar to what he did to Kanu. That Raila Odinga joined the Kanu and everybody thought Raila Odinga was swallowed. NDP by that time was swallowed by Jogo. So Jogo literally swallowed NDP, but they failed to put off the engine. So by the time Jogo realized, NDP had destroyed that party. But I told the guy that William Ruto is not Moi. So for me, Raila should start thinking of supporting Matiang'i after destroying UDA party. And supporting Matiang'i will help Raila Odinga and ODM party in so many ways. Number one, Raila Odinga will be able to regain the trust of Kenyans. The truth of the matter, and most people do not accept, is that William Ruto has become very unpopular. And anybody associated with William Ruto is also very unpopular. That's why Uhuru Kenyatta tried to work with Ruto, he pulled back. Even Raila Odinga today is very unpopular in the Republic of Kenya. I've seen people I never thought would challenge Raila Odinga, challenging him. You go to this bunge la wananchi even here in Kisumu, good number are not opposed to what Raila Odinga is doing. Because they feel Raila Odinga has betrayed their trust. So you can regain that trust by supporting Matiang'i. Number two, it also could serve as a strategy to escape William Ruto's trap. Because if William Ruto had a trapped Raila Odinga that, you join my government, and he knew that Raila will be in a corner where he will not be able to get out, then Matiang'i joining ODM party, declaring his bid, ODM party members endorsing him, would help him escape that trap. Because if Raila Odinga were to support Matiang'i, chances of Matiang'i succeeding are very high. And of course, there's also Raila Odinga's political relevance in 2027. The trajectory Raila Odinga is taking is good for him, but not for his party. Joining government, and I explained in my earlier video, is definitely going to help Raila Odinga in so many ways. He will enjoy the power. His people will join government. They can do businesses. Of course, you know the benefit of being part of government. But because Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are very unpopular, Raila Odinga's relevance will only be confined to supporting Ruto. And because Ruto is unpopular, someone was joking to me that, Lee, even William Ruto is surprised how the people he cheated in the last election became very clever very fast. Because Ruto told us that wajinga waleisha. So for Raila Odinga to remain relevant, he must figure out. Because without that, and of course with Matiang'i as the presidential candidate in ODM party, ODM as a party will still have control over Matiang'i. Because I'm not so sure whether Matiang'i can come into the country, join ODM party, and manage to understand the structures and operations of ODM party. He can't do that. William Ruto can do that because William Ruto has served as deputy party leader of ODM party. That's the difference. For Matiang'i, even if you were to come today, being nominated, he will not even understand a lot of things about ODM party, which means Raila Odinga can still have his loyalists. And of course, if he acquires power, it would be difficult. I mean, it would be easy for him to dismantle the network. But at least for some time, Raila will still have control over ODM party. Importantly, politics is a game of numbers. By supporting Matiang'i, I'm 100% sure ODM party will be able to win several seats. MPs, senators, governors. In a case where Raila is working with Ruto, the equation is going to change completely. Kissy, for example, is going to be swept by Matiang'i, which means all ODM members of parliament, governors, senators from Kissy and Nyamira, it will be replicated. So because of that, Raila, in my view, should support Matiang'i. And of course, there is also the idea of a compromise candidate. Because the rallying call today in Kenya is one. William Ruto must go. But there has always been a single question. Who can remove William Ruto? So far, Martha Karua has indicated her interest. Wajakoya the fifth, Kalonzo Musyoka, I don't know who else. But the truth is, of all those people, the person with the best chance to remove Ruto from office is none other than, in my own view, Fred Okengo Matiang'i. All these leaders can easily agree to support him. Of course, even Kalonzo has that high chance, considering the fact that he's been in politics for a long time. In fact, if opposition were to agree on a candidate, Kalonzo would take more boxes, but Matiang'i now will come with a Western alliance, which William Ruto is banking on. So in terms of a compromise candidate, Raila Odinga supporting him, it will be easy for him to be picked as a compromise candidate for the opposition. And of course, you also remember that Matiang'i is an outsider. What Kenyans are saying today is that they want a change, a total change. Matiang'i is the change. All these other people have been part and parcel of system. When was Kalonzo Musyoka elected as member of parliament? For those who remember, the first time he was elected, long time ago. Ladies and gentlemen, there are several other factors I would have talked about, including even Uhuru Kenyatta factor and Mount Kenya factor. But for me, the statement by Raila Odinga is not a betrayal. The statement on Matiang'i, it is a strategy. Because if Raila were to say today that Matiang'i has told him, or he knows Matiang'i is running, that would be premature. Because so far, Matiang'i himself is yet to declare his interest. But signs are there that is likely to be on the ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.